women that are insecure more times than not think they want the attention because they think that'll give them that validation and that satisfactory feeling of like, I'm worthy. But you have to remind yourself that when men are looking at you and sexualizing you, like your face and your body, that's all they're seeing, babes. Like, they're not seeing anything else within you. Even if you have a conversation, like, they're not standing there thinking to themselves, wow, this woman is so like eloquent in her speech, like she's actually really funny, cracking some good jokes, like wow, she's very like has interesting stories to tell. Like, they're not thinking any of that shit. They're just waiting for the moment that you let them like kiss you or fuck you or whatever. Like, it literally happened. How like it's really not surprising that women are as insecure as they are when time and time again they do the thing that they have been taught to believe they have to do in order to get validation from men or to get men to choose them, and then they do the thing and then they're like thrown with the trash, and then it's like, of course, that makes their self-worth plummet even more. If they even had any to begin with, it plummets even lower because they're made to believe that, again, if the man doesn't choose you, if he like disregards you, then it's like, clearly that's because of you. That's because there's something wrong with you. You're not interesting enough, not funny, not hot, not whatever the fuck, not likable enough because the man didn't choose you. And the men just like fucking walk free, most of the time get sex out of it, and then just like go and leave these women riddled with insecurities, riddled with questions of self-doubt, riddled with sort of just like perpetual identity crises. And maybe I'm being dramatic about that, but it is just very shocking. It's actually not even shocking. This is the world I live in. Like, I'm not that shocked anymore. I sort of gotten to this point where I don't care anymore to receive male validation, like externally, like when men start whatever, like getting the attention from men. But I'm also at the point in my life where I get it the most. Like, I get stares and looks from guys and attention from guys very easily, very often. I also have a very unapproached, and again, I'm not saying that to brag, like it's not a bragging thing because it's not, I don't find it complimentary. It's not something that appeases me because I know that all these men are thinking when they're looking at me is that they're sexualizing me. How can that be complimentary? Like, that's just not complimentary because, again, my sense of self-worth does not come from my body any longer. Perhaps when I was in my early 20s, yeah, that would have been a fucking compliment, but I'm not in my early 20s anymore. I'm not insecure like that. I have more to offer, so much more to offer than my body. So like when men are just looking at my body being like, I'm kind of like, you're dumb. There's so much more, and all you see is this like one thing. But again, that's like, if they don't know me, I'm not blaming them for like just seeing the external and having reactions to that. I can't expect men to see through my fucking like body and into my soul. That doesn't make sense. But at the same time, I'm kind of like, I'm just not impressed anymore. And I saw a video yesterday where a woman was talking about this. And in the comments, it was saying like, I'm pretty sure you have aphantasia. I think that's what it was called. I screenshotted it, aphantasia or something like that, which is really interesting because my name is Anastasia. So that's like very close to my name. And I'm like, is this a sign? But I don't know. Maybe I have that. I need to stop diagnosing myself with things on TikTok, honestly. But all I've really actually diagnosed myself with via TikTok is ADHD. And that's, okay, I don't want to say that's not as serious of a thing, but it's not like a medical condition like I've diagnosed myself with cancer. Do you know what I mean? Like, just from watching like some videos. But I know I have ADHD, okay? I know I have it. I don't forget about a brain when their penis is thinking. Do you know what I mean? It's either this thing's on or that thing's on. Both cannot work simultaneously, I've learned. And my mother, growing up when I was a teenager, would tell me so often, like this was literally a quote of hers that I remember her telling me throughout my teenage years and into my early 20s. And I always found it so like ew, mom, don't say that kind of vibes, right? But now as a 27-year-old that's like been through the dating scene, wow, this woman was wise beyond like what I could have handled at the time. But she literally would always say to me like, men think with their dicks. That's literally like in Russian, мужчины думают своим членом. Они думают своим членом. And she would tell me this and I'd be like, Mom, ew, I'm literally 16. But now 27, I'm like, that was the greatest advice she ever gave me. No, look, I swear to God, it's not like I want to be a man hater and I want to be a patriarchy hater. And anyway, to the patriarchy, not the men thing. If I could have had any other life, passion, purpose, like, believe me, it would be so much more interesting if I could like talk on end about space, right? Or like plants or trees. Like, it's not a lot of topics and subjects that I have a lot of information on in my head, because truly my brain cannot retain information very well that I've read upon or watched documentaries about. It sort of like comes in one ear, I understand it in my brain for myself, just sort of like process that information, and then it goes out the other side. So it'll sort of like come in, I'll process, I'll understand, I'll get something out of it, right? For that moment, I'll sort of like, it'll make a click, and some things stay when they're very like, it seems like important or interesting enough that my brain can register it long term. But a lot of the times the rest just goes out. And like, if you were to ask me to recite a documentary that I watched yesterday to you, no, I think that's why I never liked subjects like history, because what the fuck, that's literally just like retaining a bunch of, I don't want to say useless information, but for me in my current life where I am living, like in this reality, in this generation, whatever, like it is kind of useless. Like, why do I have to know about all these facts about all this history that happened ages ago? Do you know what I mean? It's not that it's like unnecessary for people to know, but it is sort of unnecessary for me to know when I already struggle with retaining information in my head. And I know exactly where I live, and I know what this society is, and I know what the gender norms are, and it's just like, God, honestly, I'm at a point where I sort of get male attention very easily. Your cycle explained, wondering if, okay, thank you, Flo.